welcome. Hey, welcome to Designing Adobe XD, everyone, and to Friday. And I must say, that is a really hard act to follow. So everyone was here for hand lettering. Now let's just go full on into the computer and pushing around some pixels. Here we go. That's a little whiplash. It's all right. I want to do some hand lettering. I'll have to pull out a sheet of this maybe next time. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Talin Wadsworth. I'm the lead designer for Adobe XD. Thanks for joining me on the chat today here on Behance. If you're not on Behance, if you're over on YouTube, you just happen to be on YouTube, hop over to Behance so you can say hi. Hey everyone, hey Matthias, always great to see you. Ahmad, thanks for coming back. Eric, I see a lot of names in the chat we saw over the last few weeks. Tom, how's it going? Juan, there's Mr. Howard Pinsky right there, everybody. Go check out his YouTube videos, they're great. Glad using some of the great UI kits that are available through the Adobe XD sort of community of designers. Just kind of help again like jumpstart that or just make my stuff look good, you know. Sometimes that's like half the battle. So today we are going to design a UI kit, and I'm going to show you how to not just use Adobe XD, but actually use some of the great sort of Creative Cloud integrations alongside of Adobe XD. We're going to go use one of my favorite sites, keep this kind of loose. If you haven't checked out Adobe XD, go download it. It's free. Go check it out. And then also, feel free to ask me some questions. We got some really exciting features we're cooking up, or I'm just happy to answer any of your questions about Adobe XD. So let me know. I'm here. Let's chat. Okay, so here we are in XD, and let me just point you to, again, like, if you don't know what a UI kit is, or you've never made use of one, there's a really sort of handy set of UI kits to kind of get you going in your design work in XD. And they're down here, so when you launch XD, you see the start screen. Down here, there's this whole UI kit section. And of course, if you're designing for Apple, the Apple iOS kit is a really great sort of jumping off place that you can start from. Again, it's an XD file ready to go with all the assets that you would need to design an iOS app. Same thing with Google Material. And so out here on the web, it'll launch you, and you can go here on this resource page, and you can download, like, oh, we want to design maybe a material design app. So you could go and download that. And there's a bunch of other really great wireframes to go and download from. But of course, we're all designers. We also like to kind of have our own look and feel. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I got some Vandam and Ahmad have some questions about plugins. Plugins are coming very soon. If you guys haven't checked out the posts of some of our sort of big kind of key third-party developers who are creating some really exciting plugins for XD, they're up on the Adobe blog and on Medium. Go check those posts out. We covered it last week, and actually, if you want to see our newest design team member, Gayatri, design a plugin live on the stream with me last week, it's on the YouTube archives, so go check it out. So again, like if you guys haven't checked out some UI kits, let's just download those real quick. And of course, they're XD files, so they're download super fast. So I'm gonna open up this material one so we can kind of see again, like, what's a UI kit? What do we need to? What kind of things do we want in a UI kit? What are kind of things that I need in my job to kind of help me kind of make my designs look good? So here's the material design one, and it's really great because it sort of shows you all the type styles that you would use when designing this one, a material design app. It shows you some of those colors for the color palette, and gives you a bunch of kind of UI components. And so that's what we're gonna do today. Is we're gonna make our own. Blanca, there might be one for email templates. Go check it out. Again, there's a bunch of really cool sort of ones on the page. There's one for wireframes, like if you're gonna do kind of a wireframe. I think today we're gonna do kind of a wireframe one. There's one for if you're doing smartwatches. I think Pawtastic, I think this really amazing one from Megan Fisher. I think Pawtastic might have an email template in it. Go check it out, Blanca. Go download it and see. But I think what we wanna do is we wanna make kind of a, again, like I need something to sort of display inside of my XD designs as I'm designing new features. I need something that, again, just kind of tells a story. And so I'm gonna make something, I think today, maybe a little more wireframey, kind of like the wires kit that you can get from the Adobe XD page. And so as we're looking here, right, I think the kind of the building blocks where we're gonna start today is we wanna go choose a color theme, and we wanna get some type that we wanna use, and we want to grab some icons and start kind of bringing all these together as we design and kind of lay out our UI kit. So today we're going to go start with one of my favorite sites, and this goes like way back. I don't know, like I've used this site for like so long. Adobe Color. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this site. This site is really awesome. You can go there and create color themes. So I can go and I can create a color theme from scratch. I can also pull a color theme from an image, which is always one of my favorite features. Or if you're just looking at like to get sort of jump started with a color theme, you can see what the community's been creating. And sort of here is kind of the most popular color themes going right now, and these are all kind of created from Adobe XD. I mean, not from Adobe, but just from Adobe customers and people just who are into color themes. So there's a bunch of really handy ones here, and I'm gonna choose one that I again like. What's kind of the vibe, the kind of feel? You guys, any of these guys kind of catching your eye? Any of these catching there? Yeah. Let's see. I kind of like. I don't know, what kind of vibe am I going for? Let's maybe choose. Oh, there's so many good ones. I don't even know where to start. I want one that's got some contrast to it. I think this one's pretty nice. I think this sort of copy of a copy of a copy one. I think we're gonna do that. All right. So now I'm sort of here, and I'm gonna save this to a library. So I don't know if you guys have used Creative Cloud libraries. This is really handy because a Creative Cloud, if you add this to a library, that will show up in any Adobe app. So we are going to do, see, can I create a new library here? Yep. So I'm gonna make a brand new library for my UI kit, and I'm gonna call it the Dope Preso Kit. This is my like awesome sort of library kit here. All right. Let's give it a sec to do it. I'm gonna put it here. So I'm gonna save my theme directly to my library. So there it is. So now just to kind of go back to XD real quick, just kind of show you, kind of complete connect the dots here. I'm gonna start a new document inside of XD. And now I can go up here to File and open Creative Cloud Libraries. And when I do this, I go to, oh, that's right. Oh, here we are. Actually, no, it did not work. I forgot about that. Let me actually do something here. I'm just gonna take a quick screen grab of that. All right, little off script, but it's all right. And I'm just gonna quickly sort of sample some of these colors real quick. Actually, hold on a sec. I actually have a pre-made one. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna sample my colors here. I forgot that XD doesn't support the color themes yet. I always forget about that, guys. All right. All right, so I'm gonna do this real fast. Okay, so we're gonna get our color theme going here, but we're gonna go back. So the other thing we wanna do, of course, is choose some typefaces. So, yeah, Matthias, you're totally right. It is in Creative Cloud libraries, but I'm showing some of the edges of course, XD. We're not quite yet supporting color themes, which is something I need to go actually add that to the user voice and actually vote on that. We need to support color themes. We'll get there. So we're gonna go choose a typeface as well to use. And you guys, if you haven't used Typekit, if you're a Creative Cloud subscriber, you can come here and you can actually now sync typefaces from Typekit to your laptop or to your desktop. And we're gonna go choose some typeface to use in our kit here. I'm really digging some of these up here. Let's see. I'm gonna go check out, I always like a good sans serif. What do you guys like here? Anything good? I'm gonna use something a little more structured kind of vibe here. I kind of like this one. Let's do it. So I'm gonna basically, now I can just sync these all to my desktop, which is super handy. And I'm gonna sync them all down to my desktop. So then when I go inside of XD, they'll be there waiting for me to use. And we're also gonna go grab some imagery because, you know, again, like you want your designs to look good. So I'm gonna look for some imagery here on stock. I'm gonna look for some black and white imagery because I want to kind of keep some of the noise down. There's something kind of abstract, right? To kind of just give me kind of a look and feel. I really like this one. Let's go. I really like this image. So what I can do here on stock is I can actually see this image and actually add it to my library. And I'm going to go and add it to our new library. All right, what else do we want here? Well, we're here, we're just gonna add a few more. I kind of like dig that, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna just save that to that library. Well, maybe this explosion. There's a lot of that on some of the streams lately. And now that I've chosen my library, I can just go and add them all there. So now when I go back to XD, now I just look at the Creative Cloud Libraries window, and I look at my library, there they are. I can now drag and drop them right onto the canvas inside of XD. Awesome. All right, so that's gonna be some of our imagery we're gonna use. And I also, of course, like a lot of times when I'm showing off how designers are designing in XD, they're usually designing some kind of app or service. And so avatars are really handy to have. And so one of my other favorite workflows, of course, is kind of a Photoshop to XD workflow. And I love libraries for this. So I can actually open up my libraries panel. I can go here and navigate to my new Prezo kit, UI kit that I'm working on. And of course, there's the color theme right there, Matthias. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add now all these cool avatars of my friends into my library. So I'm just dragging the layers right in there. And what's gonna be cool about this is if I wanna go and like change any of these, if I change them here in Photoshop, that'll update automatically anywhere I'm using them inside of XD. So that's super handy. And I'm gonna add me there as well. Okay, everybody. Lars, Tim, and add Ash. I'm just dragging the layers over there and adding them. I'm gonna add Eric. All right, so now what I can do is I can go and just drag and drop them onto the canvas inside of XD. And look, there they all are. Drag them out. Now it's there. Again, now they're linked. So if I go, and if I change anything about, say, Eric here, maybe I want to do a little blur on my friend, my good pal Eric here. If I blur that, I think I have to edit this. I go back to, oh, let's see. Not seeing where's, I can edit now that library, and I want to filter. I should pixelate. Let's do this. See how that looks. Do now a little color halftone for Eric, and now when I go back to XD, there it is, automatically updated. So this is a really handy sort of libraries workflow that I love in Photoshop. Is I can again like keep my images. And edit them in Photoshop, and then anything change I make through Creative Cloud Libraries will be updated directly on my canvas inside of XD. And this is in any document I sort of drag this into. So that's super handy. And I'm gonna go back to Photoshop real quick and undo that. So we can keep Eric nice and pristine. And we go back to XD, of course, there it is. All right, so I'm gonna save this file real quick to our desktop. Awesome. I want to keep that up while we're going here. And of course, so colors are super important. So we kind of have our theme going on here. Right, and I'm gonna now start using the assets panel, start building out all the sort of global character styles. I'm gonna add my colors there, and we're gonna start doing our type. I think, what was the typekit one we just downloaded? Let's go, I forgot the name of it. Nuesa. Noesa. How do you pronounce that? There it is. So that that typeface that we synced from Typekit is now right there inside of XD. So I can go and use it. And this is my H1 style. So we want to make, I kind of like to start with kind of the good rule of thumb, and this is going, I think, to kind of my web days. You want to do, like an H1 or like a headline sort of size. You want to do an H2, kind of that sort of smaller headline size, and then a subhead, and then probably a body copy. That's kind of where we want to start. Eric, you are my good friend. You could be my good friend. Everybody here on the stream is my good friend. Let's do, okay, so we're gonna make kind of our H1 style. We're gonna apply one of our global colors to this headline. I'm gonna choose that kind of dark blue here, and we're gonna make our headline, I think 40 points. Actually, I'm gonna delete these for a second. So then my H2 is gonna be a little smaller. So my H1 style here. And I don't know if you guys know this, but now once I add that character style to my panel, I can actually now go and name it. So I'm actually gonna name it H1. Maybe my H2 maybe is all caps. Tracking here. Good rule of thumb that Eric would be in agreement with. Anytime you're using all caps, you want to track that out to at least 80 points. Everyone, good rule of thumb there on the type. And we're gonna make it bold. I'm gonna say this is our H2. In. I'm gonna make that medium, I think. All right, that's our subhead. And we're gonna do our body copy. Do that regular, let's say 15. And this is another little handy thing that I really love about XD is you can convert really quickly from line text to area text. So by just clicking this little icon here in the panel to go from point text to area text, now I kind of define kind of that sort of body copy. And I'm going to grab, let's see. You guys use a lot of lorem ipsum. It's kind of a good way to sort of test. Actually, what's a cool one we want to do? Let's just copy some of this here. You guys have seen all the lorem ipsum generators out there. I'm gonna go a little smaller because that type's pretty big. All right, there's kind of our body copy. All right, so we've got our color, we've got our type, we've got some images we're gonna use. Let's design a component using some of these right now. So now, of course, I'm usually, when I'm showing off a new XD feature, I am using kind of like imagining that someone's designing an app with this new feature. And so they're designing UI components. And so I'm gonna start making some of those kind of like UI kit, components that then I'm gonna copy and paste and kind of arrange in kind of fun ways, like Lego building blocks here in XD. So why don't I like to start with maybe we'll design like a little like list item. Maybe like a contact sheet. So I'm gonna color that with this gray from our global color style. And I'm gonna round those corners a little bit. right? And then I'm going to design a little space for my friends' avatars here. And then I'll start with my good friend Eric here. And we're gonna use the subhead style for Eric's name here. I'm gonna make this just all right. So there we go. Maybe we'll imagine maybe there's like a little icon over here that we'll go and fill in later. Just put a little placeholder there. Again, I'm just looking for something that feels kind of representational. Again, kind of gives a feel of a UI kit. Creative Cloud Libraries, I guess you could kind of think of it as a plugin for XD, but it's actually just the Creative Cloud Libraries feature service from Creative Cloud already in XD. So here it sort of lives in this separate panel. So we are going to actually now make this into a little component using the repeat grid. I'm going to quickly do that. So I grabbed those elements, I converted it into a repeat grid, and now I can drag out as many of those as I want from my contact sheet here. Or I can make some more columns from that. And then my favorite part, of course, is I can select my avatars from the libraries, and I can drag and drop that onto the little avatar space here, and boom, just right in to my UI components. So now when I go and I need to kind of use this component, I can copy and paste it wherever I need to, and I can drag that out. So that's super handy. And of course, the next thing we want to do is also start creating some more UI components. I'm gonna make a button real quick. It's always good to start with a button style. Again, kind of your sort of basic kind of UI components are usually like a button and a form field and a radial button and checkboxes. Like those really form kind of the foundation of any kind of good sort of design system or UI kit. So I'm gonna start doing that, and I'm gonna make this my call to action color. That's sort of my sort of hot color, kind of catches your eye. I'm gonna round the corners of this as well. There we go. I'm gonna say this is my button, and I'm gonna use that style, but I'm gonna change it. All right, so any of my buttons now will look like that. And kind of once now I have that button, I'm also gonna make it a symbol. And what that helps me do is then drag and drop that button. And if I go back later on and I decide I wanna change it, of course it'll update everywhere I have that symbol in use. So that's super handy. Yes, Vandom, I always forget about the shortcuts, so keep reminding me. But I also like to just show that it is here in the panel. So we have our button. Maybe next we will make a little form field as well. We're gonna click and apply that gray, our gray as the border here. It's gonna be kind of a quiet form field. I'm gonna use the type here. We're gonna use that light gray again. And if that light gray though might be a little too light, and what we can always then go do if we find that is we can always go back to the assets panel here and edit that gray to just be a little darker, so it shows up a little more there. Nice, that's looking good. All right, so we're sort of building out our UI kit here. All right, this is sort of to kind of cover kind of what we're kind of up to today here. We're making a UI kit from scratch using Creative Cloud libraries and Adobe XD, and we brought in a color palette, and we've brought in some new type styles from Typekit, and we've added some sort of images from Adobe Stock into our library, and some images that I had in Photoshop of the avatars of my friends. And what I'm trying to do is just kind of give a kind of an overall feel of our UI kit here. I'm gonna drag and drop that image in there. And now what we start to have is just kind of like the overall kind of vibe of this amazing sort of UI kit that we've been creating from scratch. Nice, that's looking pretty good. What do you guys think? Munir, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. You guys, how's it going? Are you guys been designing alongside? You run into any issues? Have you checked out XD before? We've sort of in here in just about 25 minutes, we've made kind of the start of our UI kit. And now, again, if we kind of go back and, I encourage all of you to go check out any of the UI kits that we have kind of up on the site today and get started, kind of be inspired, maybe create your own. Again, here's the really great wires one that I love. Again, like eventually maybe I would, sort of need to sort of like, go out and like, build out my UI kit sort of as detailed as this. Or what I could do is actually start maybe using some of these components and actually bring them in and just start styling them like my, kind of my style. Go and apply my own sort of styles to UI kits from other places. Look at that. Oh, jump started. Now I've got my little toggle. So, yeah, thanks Matthias for posting that. So, thanks Linda. I said like, Prane, yeah, some of the tips for beginners. I think some of the things that we covered here on the stream today, really making use of the assets panel. I know it's one of my favorite things to do. Again, like one of the things that I really like is just to work very quickly and and using the assets panel allows me to sort of see new ideas and try new options very, very quickly. Like I said, if we ever wanted to sort of go and change any of these colors, right, we can do that in real time, and we see it changing now in in the whole across the whole document. So it's super handy to sort of do that. Check out some of the UI kits as well. Follow the tutorial that comes with Adobe XD, and then you should be able to get up and going pretty quickly and make something pretty exciting pretty quick. So, and check some of the XD challenges as well. Those are always fun. Thank you all for joining me today. It's always great to be here on a Friday and just be able to sort of zone out and design. Sorry if we didn't get to maybe all the questions there, but we'll be back next week. Hopefully have another exciting guest along with me, and we'll talk some more about XD, which I never get tired of. Thank you all for joining. Karina, Afroha, Daniel, Matthias, always great to see you. Ahmad, thank you guys. If you want to anytime ask me questions, I'd love to see what you're doing in XD. Tweet at me at Mr. Talin on Twitter, or anyone else on the Adobe XD team. We always love to see what you're up to in Adobe XD. Thanks. We'll see you next week.